Hello guys, how are you doing, all my bunny fans out there? So there has been an awful lot of things online recently about professional bonders and how one particular bonder has been sending home rabbits that have been injured during the bonding process with really bad injuries, and unfortunately a rabbit even died during their care. I am a professional bonder. People send their bunnies to me for bonding. The definition of professional is actually that you do something for a living, you're paid to do it, and I am paid to do this, fortunately, because I love it so much. So although there isn't any qualification per se at the moment, it's about experience and it's about somebody valuing your skill enough to pay for you to do a service for them. So I have been bonding for nearly 10 years now, over 270 sets of bunnies, and I have never had an injury with a rabbit, touch wood. Now, it can happen very quickly, whether you're watching your bunnies or somebody else is watching your bunnies. The odd injury can happen, but the secret to it really is not taking your eyes off them, basically. And I'm very conscious when the bunnies are with me that they're not my bunnies, they're somebody else's babies. And I think you have to really take that very, very seriously. Because what you want is a happy bond that is built on trust, that is built on the right tactics for the bunnies that works for their particular situation. I'm a big believer in thinking outside the box. Sometimes a particular standard method of bonding doesn't work for every rabbit or every pair. They're all different. And so you have to think outside the box and do something different. So when bunnies come to me for bonding, I do ask the owners to sign a form. And on that form is my commitment to them and their commitment to me. So it really breaks down what the commitment is to them when they are coming to me for bonding, how I really supervise them very well, and how I will treat them like they're my own, and how I will take the best care possible of their bunnies, and that I take this very seriously. And their commitment then is to follow my instructions once they get them home, because my service comes with going home instructions and full support once people get them home. Because the job isn't done until the bunnies are settled at home in the routine and in the space that somebody wants them to have. So I'm just going to actually flip the camera because I have these two guys here at the moment. So that's Elmo at the back, and Taylor's been adopted from the DSPCA. So these bunnies came into me on Sunday night. We are on day 3 because I start Monday and then they go home on Friday night. So they get 5 full days, around 40 to 50 hours of bonding. And there's 2 reasons why people send bunnies to me. One is that they don't really have the time to bond the bunnies. And the other one is that they are nervous and they don't feel able to do it themselves. And also sometimes people feel like they don't have a neutral space that they can make in their houses. So once the bunnies go home from me, we discuss how they want them to be, what they want their setup to be, how they want their routine to be. Are they going to be free roaming? Are they going to be outdoor bunnies? Are they going to be indoors with X amount of space? Do they have their own bedroom? Whatever it is, I tailor make the plan for them. And then I send them home with the full instructions and also complete support, so they can message me at any point after I've bonded the bunnies for them, and I will help them to sort out any issues they might be having or answer any questions. So as far as I can see, this bonding service, if you can call it that, where the rabbits were getting hurt, the bunnies were unsupervised. They were in very small setups and there was no room to expand. So these guys did start in a smaller setup yesterday. I don't always start in a smaller setup, it depends on the bunnies, but they have now been expanded to a much bigger space today and they are much happier. I almost have a little loaf. But they do need a small space initially because that's what allows them to interact with each other and work out their issues. And also you can get hold of them a little bit easier, which means you're also helping prevent the injuries. Elmo's really not sure about Taylor though, whether he wants her as a friend or not. And she's a little bit skittish because he has been lunging and nipping at her. But she keeps on trying anyway. She's a young bunny and she's like, I am interested in you. I think we can be friends. What do you think, Elmo? So they did go straight into fight mode when I first had them on Monday morning, and then they have settled down since then. Yesterday I had to try and sort out a couple of attempted fights, but I never let them actually fight, which is when the injuries happen. So I reckon that if those rabbits were getting injured, they were being unsupervised and nobody was there to step in and sort out the fights before they actually hurt each other. just wanted to give people reassurance that there are a lot of professional bonders out there. A lot of rescues do bonding for you, but not all are good. So do your research. Some of the questions you need to ask if you're looking for a bonder is, how much experience do you have? How many hours do you put in? What kind of setup will the bunnies be in while they're bonding? And I sometimes talk to people who've had their rabbits gone to professional bonding and they actually are not. See, sending her away. Did he send you away again? Oh dear. They don't get any idea of what size they've been in or how things have really gone. So I talk to my bonding people every night during the week that I have them. And quite often in between if I've got cute moments as well or they've got questions. So we're in constant contact. So that's the way it should be. Do ask for references. It seems to be easy for people to fake Google reviews because this particular person had a lot of Google reviews that were very positive. And yet if you listen to social media, then you hear lots of stories about where things have happened and pictures of the rabbits with the injuries, and it's just horrific. So I would always ask to speak to somebody who has used the bonding service before. I would have no problem asking one of my past customers whether they'd mind taking a phone call from somebody who was looking for a bit of reassurance about using my service, because I'm open and transparent and I know I provide a good service. So that's another thing you can ask for. And then you need to ask, are you going to get going home support and instructions so that you know what to do once the bunnies get home and that you're not just left with, here you go, your bunnies are bonded, because there can be hiccups as they're settling in at home. Yes, you're so beautiful. There can be hiccups when they're settling in at home, and you do need the professional bonder support from them once you get the bunnies home. So those are some things that I can advise you if you're going to use professional bonder. There's nothing wrong with using a professional bonder. It can really shortcut the process for you, but do be aware as well that the job isn't done completely. Once you get them home, that you still need to do some work and you still need to supervise them. Once you get them home for a few days, you still need to tweak things the way you want them. So you may need to add in things like litter trays or huts. You may need to, hi beautiful, you may need to start free roaming them. You may need to move them outside, for example. So the job isn't done. The bonder can only replicate so much, but they've usually done the hard work for you, and the bunnies should be coexisting happily by the time they go home, or they shouldn't be going home. So these guys in reality probably could go home today, but I know that if they get the extra couple of days, that they're going to be a much more solid bond. I'm waiting for grooming and snuggling at the minute. He's not allowing her to go close enough to do that, but they are coexisting, and once somebody was supervising them, if there was a couple of attempts at fights or whatever, they would be able to sort that out. It's not bad, but the point of the bonding is that somebody puts a lot of hours in. So I've also had people coming to me and saying, oh, my rabbits were gone for 2 weeks and they don't appear to be bonded at all. So clearly they hadn't put the hours into it either. So you want a commitment for your money that you're going to get as much help as you can, and that the rabbits are getting a lot of hours together. And nobody can guarantee that your rabbits are going to bond, but usually with the right tweaks to the method and the right setup, they can be persuaded to be friends if the hours are put in and somebody knows what they're doing. So in most cases it would be successful. I think I have about a 98% success rate of those 270 bonds, and largely it's because I'm more stubborn than the bunnies are, and that I'll think outside the box if something isn't working. So I just thought you might like to see these little darlings, and some tips for you as well if you want to use a professional bonder, what to look for. And look at them, they're gorgeous. And I'll talk to you guys soon.